Hey, hello everyone and Eid Mubarak and welcome back to Paranormal Time. Today's video is all about the paranormal, whether you are a believer or skeptic. There is no denying that the idea of ghost spirits and other supernatural entities has captivated people for centuries. In this video, we'll be searching some of the most compelling evidence for paranormal activity and sharing some of the most chilling stories about ghostly encounters and discussing some of the most popular theories about what lies beyond the realm of understanding. So turn on the light, grab a blanket and get ready to explore the mysterious and often terrifying world of the paranormal time. Let's get started. Today I'm going to tell an email during Eid al-Fitr he faced some paranormal incident. So let's leave for unnecessary conversation as written I am reading it. First an apology if you see any mistakes. It was the night before Eid and the streets were empty, except for the occasional sound of fireworks and children laughing. As I walked home from the mosque, I could not help but feel a sense of unsense. It was it. The usual energy and excitement that came with the holiday was missing. As I turned the corner onto my street, I noticed that my neighbor's house was unusually quiet. They were usually the loudest on the block, with music blaring and people dancing in front of the yard. But tonight, their house was dark and empty. I shrugged it off and continued towards my own house. But as I approached my front door, I noticed it was slightly ajar. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest. I knew that I had locked the door before I left for the mosque. I slowly pushed the door and opened and stepped inside. The first thing I noticed was the smell. It was an odd mixture in burnt meat and something else that I couldn't quite place. As I made my way through the living room, I noticed that the furniture had been moved around. The sofa was against the wall. The coffee table was upside down, and the curtains had been ripped down. I was about to call out to my family when I heard a faint whispering coming from upstairs. I slowly made my way up the stair, my heart beating faster with every step. As I reached the top of the stair, I saw the door to my parents' room was open. I peeked inside and saw a figure standing in the corner. It was a woman, dressed in a white abaya and hijab. Her face was covered, but I couldn't see her eyes. Shining in the darkness, I tried to speak, but my voice caught in my throat. The woman slowly turned towards me and began to walk toward me. I could hear whispering something in Arabic, but I couldn't make out the words. As she got closer, I noticed her clothes were stained with blood. I stumbled backwards, trying to get away from her, but she continued to walk towards me. I turned and ran down the stair, my heart pounding in my chest. As I reached the bottom of the stair, I saw that the front door was now closed. I tried to open it, but it was locked from the outside. I looked around the living room trying to find a way out. That's when I noticed the writing on the wall. It was writing in what I looked like blood, and it read, "I will feast on your flesh." I felt sick to my stomach as I realized that something was very wrong. I tried to call the police, but my phone was dead. I was trapped alone in my own home with whatever was upstairs. I made my way to the kitchen, hoping to find a weapon, but as I opened the drawer, I saw something that made me freeze. It was a human finger. Lying amongst the cutlery, I heard footsteps coming down the stair, and I knew that I had to act fast. I grabbed the knife from the cutter and turned towards the door. The woman emerged from the darkness, and I could see now that her face was covered in scare. She lunged towards me, and I swung the knife towards her. It connected with her shoulder, and she screamed in pain. But instead of falling to the ground, she continued to move towards me. I stumbled backward, trying to get away from her, but she was too fast. I could feel her breath on my face as she leaned towards me. I closed my eyes, bracing myself for the worst, but when I opened them again, she was gone. The front door was now open and I could hear the sounds of people. Now I'm going to reading second incident. It was the night of Eid al-Fitr and the entire neighborhood was bursting with pastries. The streets were decorated with colorful lights, and the air was filled with sweet aroma of delicious food being prepared for the evening feast. As the sun began to set, families started gathering at the mosque for prayers. Among them was a young girl named Aisha, who was there with her parents and siblings. After their prayer were over, they all headed back home, excited to continue celebrating the joyous occasion. But as they approached their house, they noticed something strange. The lights in their house were off, and there was an eerie silence that surrounded the entire area. Aisha's father tried to open the front door, but it wouldn't budge. It was as if someone had locked it from the inside. They tried calling out to the neighbor, but no one seemed to be responding. That's when they have tried to calling out to the neighbors. They heard a faint whispering coming from inside their own house. Aisha's mother's eyes widened in the fear as she recognized the voice. It was her deceased grandmother's voice. They all stood frozen in fear as the voice grew louder and more sinister. It was as if her grandmother had returned from the dead to haunt them on this holy night. Suddenly the front of door cracked open and a dark figure emerged from the shadows. The figure was covered in black robes and its face was completely obscured by a veil. It slowly walked towards them, and as it came closer, they realized that it was not a human being but a jinn. Aisha's family tried to run, but they were trapped. The jinn had them cornered, and it was clear that it wasn't going to let them go. They had no choice but to face their worst nightmare on the night of Eid. The next morning, the neighbors found the house empty. There was no sign to Aisha's family, and the jinn had disappeared without a trace. Some say that the jinn had taken them away to a different realm, while others believe that they had been consumed by the evil spirits on this cursed night. From that day on, people avoided the house and no one dared to celebrate Eid in this area anymore. It became a place of dread and terror, a reminder of horror that had struck on the Eid al-Fitr. A reminder of the horror that had struck on the night of Eid al-Fitr. So there you have it, folks, a glimpse into the mysterious and often terrifying world of the paranormal time. Whether you were a believer or skeptic, there is no denying the enduring fascination that people have with ghost spirits and other supernatural entities. We hope you enjoyed this video and that it has left you with some new insights and perspective on this intriguing topic. As always, thank you for watching and we will see you in the next one. Until then, stay healthy, stay tuned. See you in the next episode. Good night.